Since Obama has become president, the military-industrial banksters have changed the method in which they approach regime change. With the success and failures of the Bush-style neoconservative intervention, the rhetoric and the deployment of the agenda would need a more subtle face. Using the tide of the youth-driven Arab Spring, which was sparked using U.S. corporate social media sites, an uprising starting in Tunisia bled into the whole of North Africa, marked most notably by the overthrow of Hosni Mubarak in Egypt, and resulting takeover by the Muslim Brotherhood. Not long after the Brotherhood took control, Christians and other minorities were persecuted in the new Islamic State. Only a couple years later, the Muslim Brotherhood was overthrown in a military coup, despite the desires of U.S. policymakers.
Set of developments. I want to come back to the panel. And Jonathan, I mean, you've written a book obviously about the president, about sort of his sort of comportment versus his enemies, but the president also gave a very famous speech in Cairo, in which he attempted to position himself in the United States vis-a-vis the Arab world, the Arab street, and recognizing the flowering of democracy after the United States has a history, unfortunately, of supporting dictatorships in the region. Can you talk a little bit about these sort of changes that we've seen, you know, a year later, almost another Arab Spring, an Arab summer?
The diciness of this situation notwithstanding, the street that we're seeing right now is the street that the president was addressing in Cairo in 2009. So what he wants is a new generation of Arabs who respect democracy, who are more secular, which is one of the fascinating dimensions of this that hasn't been commented on enough. These are not all secularists, but largely they are reacting against the Muslim Brotherhood's Islamicist stranglehold on the process right now in Egypt.
Ironic. It's almost a two-step revolution, wherein the dictator was overthrown, but then you did have the Muslim Brotherhood come in, more of an Islamist sort of face, put on the democracy in Egypt, and now almost a part two, where the people of Egypt are attempting to restore what they originally wanted, which was pure democracy.
Well, sure, but the problem, and I think Jonathan set it up, there's a good side for the U.S. if this leads to a more secular government. But there's also, this whole process is violating one of our basic principles, and that is we want to, not impose, we want to help get democracies in operation. Well, a democracy is you have an election. If you don't like what the people in power are doing, you wait till the next election. And, you know, there's sort of two things clashing there.
Here's where it might end well, is if they can force Morsi to declare what in parliamentary systems they call early elections, meaning that he has to put himself forward again.
Do you think that doesn't seem like what they're about to do?
Well,
And what about Obama family links to the Muslim Brotherhood? There is paternal brother.
That you wrote about and broke, and that is you asked the question, why on earth does Barack Obama, why is he in love with the Muslim Brotherhood? Why did he want them in power in Egypt? Still does, I believe. Why does he want Al-Qaeda/Brotherhood in power in Syria? Why did he want the rebels who were made up of the same breed in Libya? And you wrote about Obama's brother's connection, for one reason, to the Muslim Brotherhood.
Well, in fact, this story, which I published in WND, we broke it, comes out of the Egyptian government. The Egyptian government sent out one of the top representatives from their constitutional court to give speeches and explain in interviews, saying the government wants the American people to know the brother of the president is managing the money of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. And that would be Malik Obama, who is in Kenya, who is very well known to the president. He was Barack Obama's best man in 1992 when Barack Obama married Michelle. And there are recent pictures, as recent as the last few years, of Malik Obama visiting Barack in the White House in the Oval Office. And Egypt is documenting for the world, not reported by the mainstream media, but an Egyptian source. We have it from 3 independent Arabic sources. And we show the video clips. We have the video clips of her saying this, that Malik Obama, the president's brother, is managing the money of the Muslim Brotherhood in